And we are live. We're live again here on your TV, on Smart Money Culture TV in Texas and Louisiana. David, thanks for hopping on there. David is in Dublin. I am in Washington, D.C. I am in the swamp, the big swamp we have over here. And let me tell you, it is swampy. It's swampy over here, folks. Big time swampy. Bitcoin is on an absolute tear. The last time it hit the all-time high, it only took it took like 3 months or something like that in order to double it.
Yep.
Take that for what
and
it's
it looks
worth.
like it's headed in that direction.
It's take 3 weeks. What's that?
It looks like it's headed in a doubling direction.
It does. It looks like it's heading in the doubling direction. That's how things happen in crypto, guys. We've highlighted a few of the different coins and tokens here. We'll talk a little bit more about them as well. One of them is Ship with Hat, of course. That is now they 2x or 3x'd, and then they x'd again 100% over the last day. So there you have their NFT to sell tomorrow. But that's what these things do. That's what we do in crypto is we x. People go up by 10, 20%. They tell you, I remember a guy telling me, he says, Bruce, I want you to invest into my fund. We give Bruce 17%. We pay 17%. That's really good. And I said, is that a month? And he kind of laughed and he says, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yes, the slow game.
It's the slow gains. They get the slow gains. Speaking of slow gains, gold as well. Gold is, I think, it'll rock it up at a certain point, but it's of course it's holding. It's holding its value. Really right now is what it's doing. It is rising. It's up a bit today. Stocks are down. Oil is tepid. Now, oil is one of those things that you can kind of keep your eye on, because if oil is tepid, if oil is not moving forward or going up, especially at times like this when everything else is going up, what that shows is a slow of the economy. Of course, they're trying to keep it down as well, but it'll show a slowing of the economy, and that's in general bad for money. And we know that they're just printing and printing and printing and printing money. They're just addicted. They are addicted to printing money.
That's to put it lightly. It's an addiction that they can quit. No, they can't quit.
They can't quit. They can't quit at all. It's one of the things actually, and it's funny because I put out a post last night and I said, are you ready to end the Fed? Are you ready to end the Fed? And it was funny. People, oh no.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be easy situation for everybody to handle and get all types of books and values in order. Man, it's going to be hard.
Well, I mean, look, guys, here's the deal. We have a situation where, people are used to running to the US dollar in order to save themselves. But the truth is that the US dollar is actually, and, you have a lot of people as well, and they're like on the Christian right, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh no, definitely not. I don't want to do that. That's the mark of the beast, and all this other stuff that they want to say. But the truth is, guys, that that stuff. I mean, if you look at the dollar, there's like all of this different symbols on it and everything else, and those symbols are not good symbols. I can tell you right off. Maybe I'll do a little bit on that. But those symbols are not good symbols.
Right.
They're not the symbols you want on your money. It's not your money. It's kind of the point. Put it up by the central bank called the Federal Reserve that bypassed Congress, bypassed the government, and that's another reason why Bitcoin is going so hard. They tried to stop Bitcoin for a long time, and then once they realized they couldn't stop it, they just started buying it.
Yep.
Is the US dollar really your money? What are all those symbols on the US on them? What do they mean?
On the debt note.
On the debt note. That's exactly right, David. It is a debt instrument. The dollars are not worth anything. They're not worth anything at all. Period. There's just paper money. And that's all it is. And so let me pull up it. It was interesting, some of the comments that I got. I thought it was rather interesting because it really kind of, people are not really sure what to think about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I said, it really kind of, share my screen here. Here we are. Here's some of my other posts about it. Here's the one I was looking for. This one. I'll even. Are you ready to end our modern day slavery system by closing the Federal Reserve? And you can see on this dollar right here, someone wrote, "I am a piece of paper and I control your entire life." Some of the comments, maybe so, but you also give us our freedom. The powers that be are trying to do away with you to gain control. A cashless society sounds really scary to me. People don't understand. Cashless society, getting rid of the paper dollar, that is the getting rid of the debt instrument will free you. This guy Britt, he says, and I'm reading this as I see him. I didn't really pre-plan this. It's a system that we were born into. We are the real commodity in the system. This guy understands it a bit. We are literal slaves. By accruing fiat currency for security, one must use the fiat currency to produce more fiat currency in order to just sort of opt out of the system. Kind of on a point there. That's why we'll never pay off the national debt. It's impossible for us to pay off the national debt because in order to pay off the national debt, we have to borrow. Every dollar is borrowed. We borrow the dollar. It's fronted from the central bank with about a 3% interest payment, give or take.
Right.
So you can't ever get out of debt. In order to pay off the $34 trillion that's costing us $1.6 trillion per year to service, we have to, again, borrow more money to pay it off. So the system is never meant to pay off. Never meant to pay off. We are slaves. We are slaves. More important people are starting it. Modern money is made from linen, this person says. Study Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin often. What are the alternative ideas? I'd like a better idea first. If I can spend Bitcoins anywhere, I'd be fine with that. Are you ready for the digital finance to dictate what you spend, or if you have anything to spend with? People don't understand. Well, yeah, of course, but you already have that analogy frog. That's your U.S. dollar. Go try to spend your U.S. dollar on something they don't want you to spend it on. Of course, what little cash you have, you can spend, but try to use your card. Something they don't want you to spend it on.
Yeah.
Talking about the dollar, this and that, HODL, Bitcoin, on and on. So one day, it's not going to be today, but I am going to talk about the symbolism on here. And that doesn't mean what you think. Okay? And that is definitely not God's money.
No.
U.S. dollars are definitely not God's money. Okay. And that is what's being used to enslave us as well. So it looks like Trump has got this thing tied up. We have a lot of people that are. Oh, this is interesting. Did you see this?
Meanwhile, the FDNY still searching for those rowdy firefighters who booed New York Attorney General Letitia James at a department promotion event last week. You'll remember this. Brian Yanis live in New York City with more. Still talking about this, Brian.
Sandra, good morning. Well, the FDNY is urging firefighters to turn themselves in, insisting they are, quote, not hunting anyone down, but they are looking into those who they say clearly broke department regulations when they booed AG Letitia James and started chanting former President Donald Trump's name at a promotion ceremony last week at a Brooklyn church. Yesterday, FDNY Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh went back to that church and apologized.
I am sorry about the way that we acted. We disappointed our friends who are here, our family who is here, and we disappointed this church that has given us so much over the years.
The FDNY tells Fox about its investigation into its members, quote, it has nothing to do with politics. It's about professionalism at an official event held in a house of worship. While some argue the firefighters were within their First Amendment rights, FDNY bosses are apparently furious over what they deemed as unacceptable behavior by FDNY members Thursday.
First, simmer down. Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
The Post reports a memo handed out at firehouses Sunday warns when you're not on duty, feel however you want about politicians. Vote, protest, that's your right, but don't do it on the job's time. On Saturday, Trump went after AG James, who won a $454 million civil fraud case against him.
The fascist and racist Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, I call her Peekaboo James, who, by the way, is now being booed and heckled all over New York because they know it's a scam.
The FDNY union says it will provide representation to any member who is under investigation. Sandra?
Wow.
I mean, let's talk about that for a second, because that is just really really over the top. You have an out of control attorney general who went after a political figure and there's no plaintiff. Nobody was screwed over, right? Nobody lost money. They said his estate in Florida, which David and I used to live in Florida, I can tell you, calling that estate worth $18 million is laughable.
Yeah, I think he bought it for $18 million back in like '85 or something like this.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, he likes to say it's worth over $1 billion. I don't know if it's worth over $1 billion, but it's certainly worth over $100 million.
Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine all the upgrades that happened to it in the last 8 years.
It actually has the Ark of the Covenant in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a palace. It's this huge place, 100 and something rooms. It's on Palm Beach Island. I mean, you can barely buy a quarter acre for $5 million. So
it's like crazy. I'm looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Or covenant's one of those words. I don't know how to spell it off, but I think I got it here. Okay. I don't know. It's not popping up at Mar-a-Lago. Anyway, yeah, it's there. Trump made a real life-size replica of the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah,
and put it in there.
It's beautiful.
So
it's strange but beautiful.
It is strange but beautiful. Pretty interesting. that he did it. That's for sure. So Bitcoin, guys, on absolute terror. And when I talk to you about Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin is freedom. Bitcoin is freedom. That's your US dollars puts you in debt. Okay. You will never get out of that debt. You're not meant to get out of it. There was no central bank in the United States before 1913. And that's the same year that they started the IRS. 1 year later, we were in World War I. And then with brief interludes in between, we have basically been at war since then. So David and I, we come on and we do these shows every day on your TVs there in Texas and Louisiana on our Smart Money Culture TV. And as well, we stream live around the world. And one of the main reasons we do it is to reach you and let you know that Bitcoin is freedom and that the monetary revolution is real and that the way that we can take the power back from these people is by getting out of the US dollar. Take the US dollars that you don't need and put them in Bitcoin, put them in Litecoin. And we're not financial advisors and all that other stuff we're supposed to say. Put them in different types of, we show some of them on the show here, right? We have Ship with Hat. That's we're really excited about right now. We think it's going to do a lot of things. We have Global Boost, of course. We have these places where you can put it that might rock it, might not. Okay, these are speculative things. There's also a place you can put it like gold, silver, palladium, platinum. Go to @costmetals.club. Join the club there. Use our referral club clubs. Use our referral ID clubs. CLUBS clubs. If you do that, and they've launched now. They are selling gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. Bitcoin, gold, silver. These are the tools of the monetary revolution.
Oh, yeah.
We must end the central bank. We must end the central bank. Federal Reserve. It's this entity, privately held entity, that controls our Congress, White House, and Supreme Court. That's the truth, guys. And it's not hard. All we have here is a bunch of old guys who admittedly have a lot of your money. But it's easy to end it. We just have to get together and do it.
Yep.
We have to get together and we have to do it. And that's how we take the power back from these people. And we have to. You want to stop what's going on without having World War III? Do you want to stop? You look at how many people have entered into the country illegally. I mean, if they're saying 10 million people, you better believe that it is 15 million people or 15, 20 million people all day long. And that's just since Biden's been in office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is invasion status. Is more than most of our states.
It's a whole new generation. And really what they did this time around is they have now brought in more people than in the last year. They brought in more people than we actually had with births, and that's including all the births from the other people that entered illegally. Which, trust me, the best thing they can do is have a baby that is an automatic citizen. I mean, that's like you get over here, and of course, that's got to be your first move to have a baby. It's paid for by you and me anyway. Why wouldn't you have a baby? Trust me, I have a couple. They're not cheap. If someone was going to pay me to have a baby, I might just go do it. I don't know. I probably would. So the first move is to have a baby. But the amount of illegal people, the amount of people that have crossed illegally since Biden's come in office and over the last year surpasses the amount of births that are happening right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Over the last year. It's major news. So Bitcoin, though, guys, like, and I'm not talking like, and the reason I put those up there, and I didn't put Global Boost, really Global Boost is included in there. You can't freeze it, you can't seize it, you cannot take it by court order. Bitcoin, Litecoin, gold, they can take by court order. They can come in and take it. But you can remember your seed phrase of Bitcoin in your head, and even if you're under duress, you don't have to give it away. Not only they may not know what you have, but they can't take it away. And Trump is starting to get it. He is actually really starting to get it. He's been a little tepid on it. Of course, he's supported the U.S. dollar. Once he gets in, I expect him to fully support the U.S. dollar again. I mean, that's just Trump. But here, listen to what he said today. Look at this. Here we go.
Well, it's taken its own life. You know, I do little things sometimes for fun and, you know, make money with it. But I have fun with it, too.
You mean
NFTs.
you bought Bitcoin?
No, but I sometimes will let people pay through Bitcoin, or will let people get involved in a new. It's, you know, if you think of it, it's an additional form of currency. And I used to say, you know, I want one currency. I want the dollar. I don't want people leaving the dollar. And I feel that way. But I will tell you, it has taken on a life. I did a thing that people smile at, but it was wild. We did 1,000 sneakers, so limited edition sneaker run. The last one, and you could go through, you know, our crazy new currencies, because that's what I call them. They're crazy, whether it's Bitcoin or others. And so many people were buying these things. And ultimately, the last pair of sneakers sold for approximately, I hear, $450,000. It was a limited edition, a run. They were gold. They were, you know, nice, cute. And we thought it was just a very small thing. It was a branding thing, and had a good time with it. The last pair sold for $450,000. People were going crazy for these sneakers. You probably were too. Everybody was. I have every friend I have has called me for a pair of sneakers. So it just took off. And I noticed that so many of them were paid for with this with the new currency. And it is that. It's a new cryptocurrency. And I couldn't believe the amount. And I'm saying, you know, this thing has really, and other things I do, people are using it. And, you know, I would be, I'm very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar. And and frankly, and I know Jay feels strongly about this, and Jay did a fantastic job, by the way, in a group where there's always scandal and problems. Jay went through 4 years. There wasn't one scandal. I don't know, Jay, maybe you can tell me, but there wasn't one scandal. That is the most scandalous position because it involves massive amounts of money. With Jay Clayton, we had no scandal, zero, nothing whatsoever. So I thought it was great. But I have seen there has been a lot of use of that, and I'm not sure that I'd want to take it away at this point.
Well, he can't take it away.
Like you said. What's that?
He can't take it away.
Well, that's truth. He can't take it away. You know, I'm a Trump guy. I've always been a Trump guy. I don't agree with him on everything. He comes out the other day and talks about it's so great with the vaccines and stuff too. But yeah, he couldn't take it away if he wanted to. He didn't want to mention Solana. No, these cryptos, these he didn't want to mention Solana, but I think they made his NFTs on Solana, which is really crazy ecosystem that they're going on. And I understand him not wanting to mention it. I get it. I understand why he didn't want to, but pretty interesting there. Now he is always has been and probably always will be really pushing the U.S. dollar. He's probably holding a lot of U.S. dollars in general. I would say that that is probably the case. And, that's Trump. He wants the U.S. dollar. He's not perfect. The truth is that he should come in and close the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. But things can happen in steps.
Well, that's what I was saying. It would be so difficult to make this transition, and it needs to happen in steps.
It's true. It would be very difficult to just turn the switch right now, but no more difficult than 10 or 20 million people coming over your border illegally. I don't even understand how in the world we are supposed to win an election right now.
Oh, no, it's impossible. They have the magic voting machines. They have mail-in ballots. You have people in your counties going for no voter ID. It's insane.
Well, the fact of the matter is if you show up with no ID, they're not going to let you vote.
Yeah.
But if somebody else shows up that has different credentials than you, they can vote.
Yes. There's a profile in there.
There's a profile in there, but you cannot. You better have your driver's license or some other state or country identification on you, passport or something. But I get to the point where I do think, like I've said kind of over and over again, I think that they're going to let them win this time. And I say let them win because that's exactly right. For the reasons David just pointed out, we still have the magic electronic voting machines. We still have these millions and millions of absentee ballots. Michigan, as a matter of fact, Michigan printed up 80% more already absentee ballots than they did in the last election, in the last presidential election.
Doesn't make any sense. There can't be 80% more people going on vacation that can't make it to the voters booth.
Impossible. It's impossible.
It's just so far from probable.
It's a better way of saying it. It's so far from probable. That's a good way.
It shows clear intentions of cheating.
Absentee ballots, or so-called mail-in ballots, are being ordered at near 100% increase over 2020 election.
Yeah, in 2020 they blamed it on COVID, but now they're just rolling with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we have, of course, Laura Trump is now the co-chair of the RNC. And that,
Laura
I think,
Trump.
is pretty interesting in itself. So they sat this guy, Whatley, Michael Whatley, I think is his name. And he is he's the chair. He's the new chair. Now, this guy, probably a nice guy. He was, I will say this, he was the pick of Rona, but he is the friend of Laura Trump. So sometimes people walk the line in order to, get where they're getting. It doesn't mean that is the end all be all of what is of what's going to happen. But
yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully, she'll be able to get things done. But again, I do think that even with everything going on, but then again, like I say it, like I think that Trump he may win. I've been saying it kind of the whole time. But if he does win, I mean, let's be realistic here, guys. So let's just say there's 10 million, not 20 million people that have come here illegally. That's like what they're telling you about. That doesn't include like all the ones they brought in that Biden flew in, in the dark of the night and all this stuff. Who do you think they're going to vote for?
Oh yeah. Well, we have to convince them.
Well, we have to convince them, but we won, I shouldn't say we. Trump won different states. Like when he won, and I said this actually before the last election. But he won Michigan by like less. It was like 50,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
These are like razor thin margins. Pennsylvania was like 50,000 votes. I mean, give or take, right? It was 50 or 100,000 votes. I mean, guys, you just, we're talking like 10 or 20 million people here. Let's just say 10. You send 1 million to each of these states that could go one way or the other.
Yeah.
And you tell them they can vote. Who are they going to listen to? You tell them they can vote. You can vote. And here's the thing. You don't even have to. Where's that coming from? Okay. You don't even have to tell them they can vote or not or whatever. All you have to do is send them and give them an absentee ballot. Send them an absentee ballot and tell them to fill it out.
Right.
They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. It's going to get counted for sure.
And then you have everything else kind of going on. But
yeah.
Interesting times. I put on the title Congress Clowns because these guys, this is really a clown show. We're going to talk about it here in a second here. The clowns in Congress. The truth is that these guys are totally controlled by the central bank. And that's where we need to get through to our main man, President Trump, because if you control the purse strings, then you control the country. If your household, I mean, you know this, if you're a married person or whatever, if you control the purse strings, you control the situation. And so if the central bank is able to print whatever they want, then they can control everybody. And so they have all the power that they need to in order to pay off anybody they want in Congress. They just print the money. Simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
I mean, it's very easy to understand. So the clowns in Congress are going to pass, like that, the clowns. I know sometimes you don't like the way I say this stuff. All this funding for the Endless Wars. Is that okay with you? They're going to pass it because they really don't have to answer to you, because they have the magic electronic voting machines and the millions and millions of absentee ballots. They don't have to answer to anybody. So they're going to pass it.
Yeah,
That again,
ballot.
that what's that? What was that, David?
Oh, absentee ballots just screams scam. The absentee ballots is just screaming scam.
I mean, how in the world can you just have like you said, COVID was okay. They said they didn't want people to come around and this and that and the other, but COVID is over. I mean, they try to push it. It's really funny. I mean, I see people, they still wear the masks and everything, but I mean, it's crazy talk. I mean, I actually don't even think, I think the mask, to be honest with you, it lets less air in. And I'm not convinced it actually protects you from anything. I think it actually makes it worse. And I think that if you're a little bit sick and then you put them on, then your dose of the sickness could go up. Of course, I'm not a medical doctor or have any full disclosure.
We do hear information from medical virologists that'll tell you that.
I did have COVID a lot, though. I had COVID a lot. I was traveling a lot.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, I am speaking from experience. Last thing you want to do is put that thing on your face.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Pretty interesting, really. So, that's kind of that. But so and I say the clowns in Congress because, guys, it's like these guys are completely out of control. They're like, they know they don't have to answer to you. And they really just don't have to get out of line. This aid package, and I don't know if they're going to break it up or what they're going to do, but the $95 billion is really 98, because remember, there's a 3% tax from the central bank, because the central bank is going to front the money before they send it. Before they take it from you, the central bank will front the money. The Federal Reserve is going to front the money to Congress or the U.S. government. The U.S. government is then going to send it overseas or buy different, they say it stimulates the economy, because they're going to buy more armaments, more arms and ammunitions hopefully from U.S. companies. So some of that will at least go into the pockets of Americans, but a lot of it won't. Okay. And then that value will be extracted from you from the inflation tax that is levied by the central bank. This inflation is a tax, and it's levied by the central bank. Everybody kind of needs to get that through their head. Inflation is a tax, and it's levied by the central bank. And that is how they do it. So that 95 billion, which is actually 98 billion, is going to cost you about $1,000. Your home. Every home in America is going to cost about $1,000 in order to pay for that funding for a war that you probably don't support. Ukraine is a very unpopular war. Whether you think it should be one way or the other, I'm not here to talk about that. It's very unpopular. And most people at this juncture don't support that war. Or at least they want to stop paying for it. And I'll tell you this, once we stop paying for it, the war will stop. And the killing would stop. And that's really what we want, is we want the killing to stop.
Yeah.
And it's a mess there. It is an absolute mess. This is the Israel war. I think people get a little bit more emotional about it. Oh, we have to support Israel, which is fine. I'm not here to talk about that either. But do you want to support that war at a cost of $1,000 that you will pay an inflation tax? So the cost of goods and services are through the roof. They're going to go through the roof even more now with this happening. I mean, do you support it that much that you are going to pay? You already paid an extra $1,000 last in January. Okay. They tried to pass it in February. So I was saying last month. So in January, they had the extra supplemental $106 billion, whatever that is. That cost you about $1,000 that you feel an inflation tax. When you go to buy eggs, and your eggs aren't $10 anymore, they're $15. In your mind, say, okay, that's $10 plus $5 tax. And you will start to see the world as I see it. And my friends, that's what you need to do. You need to start seeing the world as we see it, because that's the way it works. When you go to buy the bananas, see 76 cents plus 50 cents tax. When you go to buy the milk, see $1.99 plus $150 in tax. The inflation tax levied by the central bank, because Congress knows that if they passed the bill and came knocking on your door and April 15th you had to pay it, they wouldn't be able to pass it. You wouldn't pay it. And so they have this scam worked out with the central bank. The central bank fronts the money, no problem. They also make 3% on it. So not only does it cost you $1,000, but the central bank, the Federal Reserve, makes about $3 billion on it, roughly. We have to end it. It has to end. Like, there is no way forward as a country until we end the central bank. And for all his faults, Milei over there in Argentina appears to have figured that part of it out. And it does seem a little confused on some other things. Or I haven't been able to look into it enough. There was a whole setup to begin with. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. But that is a tax. Inflation is a tax. It's levied on you by the central bank. Central bank says no. Congress says we want to pay for this. Central bank says no problem. Here's the money. We'll tax the people on the back end. They'll never know, because they know if they took it from you on the front end, you wouldn't pay it. We own. It's craziness. It's craziness. And that's just the federal income tax. Let's look at the other, let's talk about the other taxes. Property tax. Property tax is unbelievable. Do you know I have to pay about $2,000 a month to live in my own house? House paid for, but I have to pay $2,000 a month to live in my own house. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a way around that. But they make it extremely difficult.
We'll talk a little bit about that. What were you going to say?
Well, how difficult they make it to get around it.
They make it very difficult to get around it. It is very difficult.
They make you,
most people,
make you feel like you're doing
it's so hard that
wrong.
most people don't even want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're scared. And what do I get for my $2,000 a month? They pick up the trash. My kids don't go to the public schools. The public schools are, I live in a nice area. I'm in a nice area, guys. But I can't send my kids to public school.
Yeah, we could get going on schools.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Schools where they don't teach you financial literacy or taxes or they're constantly changing the history books.
I want you. No, yeah, they don't want you. Oh, look at this. Even while we're just talking here, let me just post this out, and then I'm going to show Bitcoin is pumping. It's pumping. Bitcoin 72,500. Let me just pop this out here. But the property tax is just as bad. And the fact that we are taking this, sitting down, is unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
To me. Share this tab. Look at this. Bitcoin. The mighty Bitcoin. 72,497. Up 4% on the day. Really going for it here. Ethereum up 3% on the day. Let me just look here. Solana up 1%. I wanted to show you guys this. Look at this. Doggy and Shib. Number 9 and number 10 currencies by market cap.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, that's something else, man.
Absolutely.
Number 9 and number 10 by market cap. And they tell us that we have to be serious business people. Ha, 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 ha. So, these, it's not just about Bitcoin. You need exposure to some of these other ones, okay, as well. So, by market cap, Doggy Coin or Dogecoin, as it's called, the Doge is number 9, and number 10 is Shiba. Now, I bring that up for a couple of reasons. Shib with hat is on a tear here. If you listened to us last week, at the beginning of last week, you've done really well.
Yep.
On a tear. They are releasing their, let me pop right over here to the Shib with hat, shibwithhatcoin.com. They are releasing their new NFT tomorrow.
Oh, wow. This is huge.
It really is. Releasing their new NFT tomorrow. Now, this is pretty cool what some of the stuff that it is going to do here. NFT holders are going to have many benefits. I'm just going to put it here in my post as well. Like, first of all, of course, they're rare. Okay. Second of all, the NFT holders will be excluded from fees on ShibSwap, which is the DEX that they're building, similar to PancakeSwap, after it releases, so they will be able to trade, to buy and sell for 0 fees. And David, you and I are traders. I kind of can't tell people how important that is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's huge. That was definitely an innovative move. I wasn't expecting, but pretty slick.
Right?
Yeah.
It is pretty slick here. I just want to put my post out about it. and then I'm going to go on to some of the other stuff that they're doing here. On a tear, releasing new NFTs, NFT holders, benefits. I'll just say holder, NFT holder, benefits. So you'll be able to buy and sell, which again is big, okay? And then you'll also have a private club. And this private club or group, you're going to get exclusive things that are shared there. So private club. There we go. Now this will all fit. All right. NFT holder benefits. Here we go. Sorry, guys. This is live. We're live on TV in Texas and Louisiana, and as well streaming around the world in a private group. So this sale starts tomorrow. I will share the website very soon where we'll be able to do it. Only 1,000. The price of these is going to be 3 Solana each. Shib with Fat is the dog with fat killer.
Introducing the Shib with
Dog with Fat, before I start that, has a $2 billion market cap right now. Shib with Fat has about a $15 million market cap, just to give you an idea of where this thing can go. I just showed you the Doge and the Shib are
Fat coin. Shib with Hat launched on Solana blockchain, and it's officially the dog with hat killer. Our mission is to become the #1 community coin in Web3. Don't miss your chance to be part of this next big thing in meme tokens. Invest in the Shib with Hat token today and join the revolution.
Here's some of the NFTs right here. Sale is Tuesday, tomorrow, March 12th. We'll be bringing it to you live, of course, here on the show. I think it's pretty exciting what they have going on. Growth potential. Do I think that they're going to hit $100 million market cap? I think they might. They have their eyes set on 1 billion or more. Okay. I think that it's totally possible. I look at some of the other meme coins as they go up to 75 million, 100 million or whatever, but 100 million market cap is about 10x from here. That's a pretty nice move. $1,000 is 10K, not financial advice. Okay. But some of this stuff can be life-changing. This is what we talk about in the monetary revolution, guys. It's not financial advice and all that good stuff we're supposed to say. But 100K becomes $1 million. Okay. 50K becomes $500,000. I mean, we're talking, and with the DEX, and it's on Radium, radium.io, RAYDIUM.io is where you can buy it very easily. You can also get it on Bitmart. They're on a centralized exchange, if you remember there. But with the DEX, you have that liquidity in there, and as it goes up, the liquidity goes up. Pretty nice features. So we're pretty excited about the NFTs. I definitely want one of those NFTs. There's only 1,000 of them. David, how about you?
Yes, for sure. You know, it's nice to be in a club.
This thing might be sold out in the first couple minutes here. 3 Solana a piece
at all.
And you get 0 fees for trading, which again, I can't tell you how important that is on their new Swip swap. And then of course you get your private group there as well. 3 Solana for each NFT. You may want to get your Solana together before it goes on sale. We'll announce the timing of the sale and the website very soon. David, thanks for joining here. Another great.
It's my show, so it's my pleasure.
We'll be back here tomorrow on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana, as well as streaming around the world at 6 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time. 5 a.m. there in Texas, and of course 11 a.m. as well in Texas, and 12 noon on the East Coast. For those of you guys in Europe and the rest of the world, remember that we changed the time here in the United States. Don't forget, we're an hour earlier now.
Yep, for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, you guys change in 2 weeks?
For yes, at least where I am here in Ireland. I'm not sure about Dubai. I need to check, but in 2 weeks, then we'll change our clocks. So
Can't
2
these
weeks.
people get on schedule with each other? I mean, what is the deal with that? Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. They play with these time zones. It must be something going on there.
I wonder how many people missed appointments today, or whatever. I bet quite a
Well,
few.
2 of us did. Me and Matt.
I wasn't gonna say it again. You're lucky that Matt did too, because I was really, oh man, you know. And then of course Matt too, and I'm like, well, all right. So then I yelled at my wife instead. How can they not tell people around the world that we changed our time in the United States?
Right? Like you said, our cell phones just do it for us too.
Well, that's the other thing. I didn't even know we changed time until my mother-in-law said something about it yesterday. We were over there for dinner. Oh yeah, the time changed. I didn't know the time changed. Time changed on Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, middle of the night, 2 a.m.
or Sunday, rolling into Sunday. I don't know. Anyway, always a pleasure, David. Guys, we will be back. We are tracking some amazing events as well, like Paris Blockchain Week and some of these other ones. Of course, we have NFT NYC that is coming up in NYC. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. We have some really interesting AI projects that we're talking to, and we'll bring those to you as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers. Stay tuned and you'll stay lucrative. See the markets pump.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.